Hello and welcome to another session here at NAV SEAL. Today we're going to look at our solution, a new version of DocuSign or DocuSign integration, where you can electronically signature your documents. No more talk, let's get into it. So you see here I have a list of purchase orders, and purchase orders is just one example. We can use all kinds of documents and have them signed using DocuSign. But let me just use a purchase order just to show the example in here. Let's have a look. I'm just going to select one of the purchase orders that's already created. In here we have an option for DocuSign where we can select to send with DocuSign to get it signed. When I select that option, it's going to show a new page, and it's going to default showing us some information about the purchase order, the source document, the purchase order document number in this case, and it's going to default with a subject of what is going to show on the DocuSign document once it gets out to the person or persons that's going to approve this document. You can change it to whatever you want to change it to. Now, one thing up here, now we can attach documents. So not just in this scenario, we're going to send the purchase order document, of course, for that needs to be signed, but we can attach supporting documents if you want to do that. I love that. So up here, you can upload files. You can choose, or you can just drop them in here. But let's just find something. We'll put in a cover and we'll put in a table of contents just to take something here. So you see, now there's 2 documents attached. There's no, you can say, limitations to this. So if you have 10 documents, that's fine. You just attach those documents to this DocuSign document that's supposed to be signed. Now, all of those attached documents will be part of the document, but you don't sign those attachments. You only sign the purchase order. But you might need some more information in there, explaining whatever you need to explain. So that is why you can use the attachments in there. Now, once we've done that, down on the receivers line, we can select who to add as a signer, carbon copy, or even an agent. So signer, we always need a signer. So that's at least one person that needs to sign this document. You could have multiple signers. So let's take that example. Now we have one email up here. We have the name of that person. And notice here, there's a routing number on it. Let me show you by example. If I add one more, let's just take me as a signer, and that's Kim. That is me. Now, if I leave the routing number as 1 on both lines, that means both persons, both signers will sign it at the same time. Now, if I change this to 2, routing order 2, that means first is Fabric Cam gonna sign it. Once they have signed it, it will come to me for a signature. So routing orders are really, really nice if you wanna have a specific sequence you wanna have them signed in. One person first and the next one, and so on and so on. You can do that. So that's perfect. And there's no limit to how many signers you want to put in here. If you want to have different routing orders, you want to have one on routing order number 1 and 2 signers on routing order number 2, and so on and so on. But I guess you don't really have to make it that complicated, but it's a functionality that's in there. So please make use of it if you do see that requirement. Now also we do have something called carbon copy. So let's just say that me here on myhotmail.com, Kim Other, we'll call him that. So I could be carbon copy. That means I'm not the person that's supposed to sign this document, but I would like to have a copy. So whoever sends out this document for signature, they can put in 1 or more carbon copies that's going to receive this. So in this scenario, once they have signed that purchase order, I'm going to receive a copy of that signed document. So that's really nice if you want to keep it for internal documentation, for example, or if you want to include the purchase manager or however you want to use that. That is one way to do that. So that's another really, really nice feature that you can use whenever you want to have your document signed. So that's one really, really nice feature that we have put in here. Now, let me just take this one away. that. Oops, here we go. Delete the line. So, let me just put in my email. navseal.com. Like that. And we're just gonna send that. So now it's preparing the document. It's attaching all those attachments that we entered on that document sign, and now it has been sent successfully. Great. Now let's have a look at it. If I go back to my purchase order and look at the DocuSign option up in the top, you will see there's a new option now. View DocuSign envelope or envelopes. You might have multiple envelopes here, but let's start out simple. So this is the document that was sent out to the signers. In this scenario, those two, Fabric Cam and myself, and down here you can see the purchase order that's supposed to be signed, and we still have our attachments up here. So if I want to see that at any time, I can do that. Because once we send that document out for DocuSign signature, we save that information so we have a full audit trail. If we should ever need to go back to that document, we can see what the attachments was, who was supposed to sign it, and so on and so on. Of course, you can see the same if you log in on the admin page for DocuSign. You can see all of that information as well. So, but it's easier, you know, when you work in Business Central to have all the information in Business Central. You don't have to leave it to look up information elsewhere. So that's a really, really nice feature that we have put in here. A little maybe techie info. Let's try and have a look at the DocuSign setup. And let's see, we have it hidden down here in DocuSign administration. And usually this is just related, so when you set it up the first time, there's something called report parameters. The idea is that for every document you're gonna use together with DocuSign, you can set that up here in the administration of report parameters. Now in previous versions, you could only have one anchor for all of your reports. And what do I mean by anchor? Anchor is where you want to put that little box where you're asking the signer to actually put in a signature electronically, of course. So how can we do that? That is why we use the anchor. So the anchor up here means that, okay, if there's anywhere in my printed document, my purchase order, my sales quote, or whatever, if there's a text in that print that says total, it's going to look for that and say, oh, I need to put in that spot where they're supposed to sign the document. Now, once we identify that anchor as total, we can put in some units to say, okay, how far away from that box, from that where it says total, should we put in that box where they're going to sign it? And that is why we have the X offset and Y offset, and we put it into pixels, meaning how we're going to measure that when we look at the report. Now, the new thing about this is that you can do that by report, because you probably have different reports with totally different text on it. Maybe you do have total in all of your reports. That's perfect. Then you don't need this. You could say you can just take the default approach that applies to all reports. But in this version, you have the possibility to actually set up different anchors per report. We think that's a nice little feature, so I wanted to tell you about that as well. Now, this is available on our home site, and if you want to download it just for a demo, just to install it in your own sandbox, you can do that. There's no cost to it, and it should be straightforward. Just click the install, and it should be up and running in no time. One requirement, of course, is that you do have a DocuSign account, because we need to link it to DocuSign, of course, for this integration to work at all. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation here. If you do have any questions or anything like that, contact us. We'll be more than happy to have a talk with you. Or if you have any good ideas, anything like that, please let us know. Looking forward to next time we see you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching this video from NAV SEAL. Check out more right here. NAV SEAL offer assistance and counsel on any existing solution. So if you're in need of assistance, don't hesitate to contact us on navseal.com or LinkedIn. Consider leaving a like and subscribe for more tips, news, and guides to anything Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central.